Hello, and welcome back to the channel. This is Jimmy, and thank you for clicking on another video. In today's video, I want to talk about a mindset for success. And the thing that I have found has really helped me stay focused and stay disciplined, even in hard times, is knowing that I got the skill set and the ability to overcome anything that the universe throws at me. The second mindset that I have is there's no such thing as failure. There's only lessons. And I want to take a moment and dive into both those things. So the first one is that you have the ability to accomplish anything you put your mind to, is something that I've always believed. The people that I see that are really successful, as I study people over the years, whether I'm looking at an athlete like LeBron, Cristiano Ronaldo, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, there's just a level of confidence in the ability that they have. You don't hear any of those individuals talk about the possibility of losing. And there's such belief in their abilities. They're also extremely focused individuals. And I find to be pretty simple individuals. They don't do a lot of things, but they do the things that they do incredibly well. I'm going to pick on Tom Brady today because we're talking about the Super Bowl just happened, and I think there's a lot of good debate on who's the GOAT between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. This video is not going to be about that. But one thing that you can just see Brady's greatness is how he calls games already. I mean, he's just a couple years removed from playing in Super Bowls himself. And I've been thoroughly impressed with his level of knowledge of the game. And when you think about it, Brady has done nothing but for 20 years eat, breathe, and think about football. So I think about that Super Bowl where the Buccaneers destroyed the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes really couldn't get anything going. And Brady didn't have an amazing offensive game. But because of his experience and expertise, there's no doubt that he had the most influence on that team making it to the Super Bowl. But Patrick Mahomes was in his, third year? Brady was in year 20. And as great of a player as Patrick Mahomes is, he didn't have 20 years of playing the game at the same level Tom Brady has. And that comes with an air of confidence and belief that you just can't fake in your 20s. And I think about Patrick Mahomes. He's been to the Super Bowl, 5 out of his 7 years in the NFL? And there's an expectation every year to his organization and to him that he's going to be there. And guess what? They've done it. And so there's some similarities between him and Tom Brady for sure. And it's not necessarily their ability to throw the ball. It's in their mentalities. That knowing that you can do something is extremely important. You can't accomplish anything from a negative state or coming from a place of lack or doubt. The second part of this I want to pack is the idea that there's no thing as failure. Failure is not an option. I've never been afraid to try anything. It's probably too strong. I'm going to say never afraid to try anything because I was afraid of mayonnaise. But failure is not an option in my mind. You are either doing the thing and figuring it out or you're learning. And it's a very fine line on which side you're on. I might learn that there's a better way. I might learn something about myself. But I can't think of any time where I say I failed at something. And it's because I've always taken some lesson away. I've always found some value, even in terrible experiences. The reason why that's important to me is I grew up, we was a community focused on survival. And you were taught to survive. And focusing on scarcity for the longest time really kept me limited. Made me play it safe. And I didn't learn a lot. I just put my head down, worked hard, and really wasn't mindful about the time I was spending. As I got out of my teenage years, so early 18, 19 years old, I started to realize that anything was possible. And as I reflected back on the things that I saw in my childhood, trauma seen to be a friend or a foe to people. And if trauma could be a friend or a foe, what caused it to be different for some people? What caused some people to have a traumatic experience and elevate and win? And so I studied people in my own inner circle and family members that I saw do really well. Good morning. Those that I saw do really well, and those, quite frankly, that I saw stay stuck and hold on to those traumatic experiences. And it came down to what they focused on. The people that I saw stuck on their traumatic experiences focused on the bad parts that happened, how it made them feel, wanting other people to feel it with them. And for those folks that I saw that turn traumatic experiences into fuel for something greater, they were more focused on what they learned from the situation. They were focused on how could they make the situation better for people next, as they accepted that it happened to them and there was nothing they can do to change it, but they could make it better for somebody else, and that became their mission. A lot of people think it was traumatic for me not knowing my father, and I say, well, in some aspects, I can understand why you would say that, but in some aspects, I never knew him, and so I don't really know what I was missing out on. And that's what I focused on. But there was definitely times that I, felt some type of way about it as I was growing up. And I never let myself stay there too long. But I remember those feelings. And for me, the motivation to be a really good father and to be present in my kids' lives was to make sure that my kids never had to wonder or never have that doubt whether I loved them and that they were important to me. And so the motivation, or the fact that I didn't have a father, motivated me even more to show up better for my kids. But there are some people that have the direct opposite, where because they don't have a father, they in turn may be a bad father to their kids because they never learn how to be a good father. And that is the ultimate power in focusing on what you can control. I don't know if I'm the world's best dad. I don't ever claim to be, but I wanted to be present for my kids and give my kids a lifestyle that I never had. And by those standards, I have been a success. Was that I was able to focus on the things that allowed me to show up better than my dad was able to show up for me. I don't know his situation, and I'm sure he had a very good reason in his mind for never making the attempt or never trying to reach out. And I can't control it. I can't do anything to make that happen. But what I can do is be the best version of myself so I can show up for those better around me. And holding on to the trauma of not knowing my dad and coming from a split household wasn't going to allow me to be the best version of myself. That's all, folks. Just another short video. I wanted to share my perspective on something that's really important. This video might be a little bit all over the place, but if this was helpful, please share it with somebody who needs to hear the message. And you know what to do. Like, subscribe to the channel. This is Jimmy. I'll see y'all soon.